Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending where you're seeing this video from. My name is Mazi Obinnaya, and I am the brain behind this channel. I opened this YouTube channel and Facebook page to tell my story, and the purpose of this platform is to educate some of our brothers and sisters who are planning to relocate here in diaspora. And when I came to this country newly, I made a lot of mistakes in the past, and I talked about it and I said, why not opening a platform, where I will educate people who would be relocating to um, wherever part you're going to be relocating to, maybe here in Europe or in America, Australia, wherever part. Now, we know each country has their own rules and laws and policies. So, if you're planning to relocate here in Europe, or maybe in America or Australia, as the case may be, these are some of the things that you will consider. Now, I'm going to tell you a story, what happened in my own case. I made a terrible mistakes, and that is actually why I opened this platform, to teach one or two persons. If I will be able to educate one or two persons, I think I would have done an amazing job, and that is particularly why I opened this YouTube channel. Now, I have two platforms. I have YouTube and I have Facebook page. So if you're watching me on YouTube and you've not been following me on Facebook, please kindly go on Facebook. I will put the Facebook handle name on the screen. Just look there on the screen, you will see the name. Just go on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. If you are, maybe you're watching on Facebook and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, just come on YouTube and you type Mazi Obinnaya. I will as well put the name as you're seeing there on the screen. That will enable you to stay tuned and you follow up through all the stories that I will be dishing on this channel. I'm going to be teaching you things to avoid mistakes that I have made in the past as a foreigner who is living in a foreign land. Now, my today's story would be license, driver's license. I know most of us who first had experience, you were driving car when you were in a home country, maybe in Ghana or maybe in, whatever part of the country where you're coming from in Africa. Maybe you own Ghana's driver's license, for instance, and you got to maybe in Germany or maybe in France or maybe Italy, Finland, whatever country that you go in Europe. There is laws, but the mistake I myself made when I got to the country, Italy, was I used my Nigerian driver's license when it have passed a year. The rule here is when you get to the country, I'm going to use the country where I live as an instance, right? I stay here in Italy, and when I got to Italy, I didn't use the license that particular year when I arrived. I waited for about 2 years thereabouts. Then when I got to the country newly, I never had a car. But after some years, after about 2 years, I got a car without a license. That was the first mistake, and I will advise anybody that will be seeing this video, when you buy a car in a country where you go in without having proper documentation, because when you go ahead and you buy a car without having maybe the country's driver's license, or maybe for instance without having a permit international driver's license, there is going to be a problem. So I'm going to use my own study case as example, so one or two persons will learn from my mistakes. So what happened was, when I first got to the country, I never got a car, like I said before, but I got a car after about 2 years when I got to the country. And I bought that car without having Italian's driver's license. And what happened was, I never knew that when you buy a car, you have to insure the car before you'll be able to park it outside. So I never had that knowledge. Nobody told me. I never had anybody to advise me. So I made that mistake in the initial stage. So I got a car, then I parked it outside. So when I parked it outside, the police rang my bell that evening. That particular day I bought the car from the person that sold the car for me. Then I drove it to where I lived. I parked it outside. Though there was no insurance, because the person that sold the car for me, I think the insurance expired maybe that particular month, but there is a 2 weeks grace for you before you be able to renew. So I was using that 2 weeks grace from that the previous person that sold the car for me. So I parked the car outside. Eventually the 2 weeks grace finished and the car is not insured. So what happened was, the police rang me, who owns the car that parked outside, as I am the one. They asked me, are you aware that the car is not insured? I said, yeah, but I just parked it outside. They said, no, you don't have to park it outside if the car is not insured. I was surprised. Oh my God, well, what would I do now? So policemen, they were nice enough, to advise me that night to remove the car at that particular place where I parked it. If not, they are going to give me a fine. So what happened was, I quickly looked for a place and I placed the car. Then afterwards, I managed to insure the car. Now, my license, my driver's license that I came with from Africa, has already expired. Now, I know particularly if you're someone who drives a car and you have a car maybe where you live, or maybe you own the car, you will be tempted to drive the car. I know it has happened to many people. I'm using myself as an example. It has happened to me. So what happened was, there was a particular evening I came back from work, and I wanted to go to the next city to cut my hair. Then I figured out there is no bus anymore that is going to that particular city. So I said, why not? Let me just I have a car here that is insured. Why not just use the car and go? Just the next city is not far. So what happened was, I jumped in the car, and guessed what happened. Continue the story in the next episode. Like I told you, I have a lot of story, but I'm going to stop the story here. But in the next video, I'm going to tell you how I was fined, how much I was given, and how that fine was generated to 23,000 euros. Did you hear what I said? 23,000 euros. So stay tuned. In my next episode, I'm going to tell you how it happened, how I was able to start paying that fine. I'm going to give you the full story in the next episode. Stay tuned. My name is Mazi Obinnaya. Follow me on Facebook, subscribe on the YouTube channel if you've not, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye, and God bless you.